So I'm going to go back a little bit, and this is totally true. So 13 years ago, give or take, I moved from Florida to New York City with the intention to get a job in the field of advertising. It's a very tough field to get into, and I also wanted to be in writing, so I was open to either one. My degree is creative writing, and I had a marketing and advertising background in there as well, and I said, I just want to get into one of these New York companies, and I want to show them my stuff. I'm so creative, I thought, right? And I had spent somewhere about 3 months continuously putting out cover letters and resumes and tweaking the cover letters and the resumes to get this magazine to go ahead and take me seriously, and this one, and nobody was responding. I got 0 people replying to me. So I went with major magazines, small newspapers. I didn't care where it was coming from. I just wanted a job because you need to get your foot in the door, right? You truly have to. And I was willing to work for free. So I would be an unpaid intern, and guess how many job opportunities I got for an unpaid internship? None. 3 months of putting yourself out there, spending the time researching the companies, putting together customized letters, and I got nothing. Now, I had just come from Florida. I'd been here for 3 months, and I had not a job prospect in line, and I got really nervous. I started to think I'm going to have to tuck tail, head back home to Florida, and say to all the people I said, you'll never see me again, I'm going to New York, and then I'll be back in 3 months. That's awesome, right? So what I did was I had a conversation with somebody who changed my life. In that conversation, the person I'm speaking about had about 15 years of HR experience. She was the HR director for a big company in Canada. And I liked her and I respected her as a friend, and I said, what am I doing wrong? What the heck can I do differently? Because what I'm doing is obviously not working. And right, going back to that very common adage, insanity is doing the same thing the same way and expecting different results. I kept doing it for 3 months and got nowhere, right? So I say to her, I'm on my last leg here. How am I going to get a job? Am I doing something wrong? Because you can tell me. I got thick enough skin right now, but I'm pretty much ready to go ahead and call it quits. She goes, well, I think you're doing everything right. And I go, has there ever been somebody who's done something that stood out in your mind and maybe in the office that made that candidate rise to the chance where they got the job where other ones did not? Because that's where I need to be. And she thought for a second, and I'm so glad I had this conversation with her because she had one experience. She goes, there was this one time, and I saw that smile kind of curl. And I said, yeah, you got my attention. What happened? She goes, you're not going to believe this. One guy, he had the audacity to send me a ransom note. And I said, what? I mean, that's not what I was expecting. I go, what do you mean a ransom note? She goes, just like you think. So there was this ransom note she describes. So think about it. In the old days, when you're sending a ransom note, you didn't want the typeface to be found out, so you always had to cut out letters from magazines and write a very threatening message using magazine letters, right? The person looking for the job sent a ransom note to the HR director. And I will show you that note. But I said to myself, oh my God. It was an epiphany for me, right? I've been so serious. I'd been thinking, oh, I got to do it this way, and I got to make sure my spelling is all great, and I want to make sure that I do it, to who it may concern, right? That kind of thing. And all along, I should be sending ransom notes? That's going to work? So I'm thinking to myself, that's brilliant! And that's what changed my life at that point. So here's what happened. I was looking for a job in a magazine, and I didn't want to go ahead and take any magazine job. If I'm going to work for free, I'm going to work for something good, right? So I made a top 5 list, and I said, I'm going to spend all of my effort on 5 magazines, and if these 5 magazines will not accept me, then I don't want to work for free for them. That's me being tough. I will not work for free for you. Is that the toughest I can be? And here is the 5 magazines. I'm going to try to remember. There was Gear, there was Stuff Magazine, there was a magazine called FHM, there was a magazine called Playboy, and Men's Health. I think those were them. I might have gotten one of them wrong, but you get the idea. These were all men's magazines that were skewed to my age group that I thought I could write well for, right? And those were my 5. So I came up with a game plan. And the game plan was simple. It was, I'm going to do something and send something odd in the mail to all 5 of these every day for 3 days. And every day I got something to do. My job is to go ahead and send something clever to each one of these 5. And at the end of the week, if nothing resulted from it, I'll have to come up with another top 5 list because I think this is the only way I'm going to get a job. Sure enough, I sent the 5 out. And I'll show you some of the things that I had sent out in the past so you understand. But I sent the 5 out on Monday, and I stopped thinking about Monday altogether. And on Tuesday, I came up with something else clever, and I sent in fact, all 5 of the people, something different on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, I sent something different. And on Thursday was a day of rest. I decided I'm going to stop because the mail's going to eventually get to them, and they're going to see Mondays, and then they're going to see Tuesdays, and then they're going to see Wednesdays. By Friday, I kid you not, I had 2 interviews lined up. One was with Playboy, and one of them was with Stuff Magazine, which is Maxim Magazine's counterpart. And I ended up getting a job that very next week. And I say that because it just changed. Like, why am I doing it so buttoned up? Why am I being so serious? These are magazines. What do they care? They're trying to come up with something edgy. So to say that is to tell you this. Sometimes you just got to be edgy. Sometimes you got to do the things that no one else is going to do. And that has actually changed the way I look at a lot of business. So here are a few things that I've done in the past to get a job, because whenever I look for a job now, I got to tell you, I do it in a clever way, and I don't do it in the most traditional way. Here's a few ideas that I haven't ever done myself, but I thought were funny that I'm going to share with you. And you can use them to get jobs from people. You can use them to go ahead and get their attention. If you use them properly and you use them with some tenacity, you will probably get a lot more attention than you're getting now.